Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, I would like to take up a very interesting topic. Someone recently asked me about this, and it felt like I should share it with you guys as well. So, the question that was asked was about the destination of meditation. What is the final destination of meditation? It's a very interesting question because this question has been the central attraction point for all people towards meditation. People come to meditation either because they are very sad, in a lot of pain in their life, and then they think, okay, the medicine is not working, maybe let's try meditation and maybe that would work. So So one of the reasons is that sadness, pain, sorrow is the reason people come to meditation, and the other reason, or the common reason, is the attraction towards the final state of meditation. Attraction towards enlightenment, if you want to use that word. I don't really like that word. It's a very polluted word, the word that has been totally destroyed. One of those words. So I would much rather use the word destination of meditation, right? So this is one thing that people are very attracted to. What is the final destination of meditation? What is it? What is that mysterious state for which I should come to meditation? What is that enormous state of whatever it is? Because people hear different kind of descriptions from different enlightened people. And on YouTube, there are a lot of enlightened people nowadays, yeah. Enlightenment is very easy nowadays because there is so much talk of it. There are so many enlightened teachers on the internet, and they have shared so much about it. Their descriptions of leaving their bodies, their descriptions of visiting great worlds, different planets, their descriptions of meeting the ancient masters in those great states, the ancient masters giving the certification to them that yes, you are enlightened now and you have joined this elite group of enlightened people. So all of this is available on YouTube in abundance nowadays. Someone is talking to an alien, someone is talking to higher dimensional beings, someone is just leaving their bodies and everything. And yet the beautiful thing that happens is whenever I see all this, I always ask that if they are so much in contact with those higher dimensional beings, with these advanced aliens or whatever, why they never bring any solutions to us? Humanity is facing great many problems of disease, problems of unfairness, problems of human psychology itself, why we are so divided, why we like to kill each other even though we are of the same species. And yet, those enlightened beings who are visiting, leaving their bodies and everything, only bring back words and nothing more. And even in those words, they don't say, okay, we've solved the fundamental problem of quantum physics because we went to that civilization and we went to those higher beings by leaving our bodies. And now we asked them, what is the solution to this? And then they told us the solution. Now we've brought it back. Now the scientists, the physicists can use it. We've brought back some medicinal formula that the chemists can use now to make new medicine. So none of that really happens. They only tell how they left the body and how they met these people and whatever. Yeah. So all of that being available in abundance on the internet naturally creates an image inside of everyone that there is a final state of meditation, that there is a destination of meditation. There's a destination towards which I must meditate to. But what that destination is, no one really knows. Multiple answers from multiple teachers, enlightened teachers. So I became the victim of the same question. When someone asked me, yes, what is the destination of meditation that you are so profoundly promoting? And in a sense, you can say, I am promoting that everyone should live with meditation for various reasons that we have already given on the channel. And that very question, what's hidden in that question? Let's start by opening that up. And it's a traditional approach which many philosophers have used. First, understand the question. Is there, or what is the final destination of meditation? The questioner already assumes that there is a destination, first of all, because the questioner is not at that point. If the questioner was at that point, he or she wouldn't ask the question that what is the destination of meditation. The reason the questioner is asking this question is because they are confused whether they should invest their life in meditation or not. They want to listen, what is the final destination about? What is the final goal of meditation? And then they would judge that goal and see if that fits with their choice of life. And if that fits for them, if they find it appealing, then they would go with meditation naturally. And if it doesn't fit, then they wouldn't invest their time in it. It's like buying tomatoes. You would like to see if they are rotten tomatoes or if they are fresh tomatoes. But in a way, both have their use. You cannot say fresh tomato is better than a rotten tomato or a rotten tomato is worse than a fresh tomato. It depends how you use it. You could use a rotten tomato to create a fertilizer, a slurry. Rotten tomato still has all the nutrients in it, and you could make a paste and put that paste in the soil, for example, and that might help. I'm not an expert on tomato fertilization, but just as an example, I'm stating it. So there is the implication in the question that there is a destination and I'm not at that destination. Please tell me about that destination so that I can decide whether I should invest myself in this kind of adventure. Let's use the word. Please tell me how is the final state of meditation so that I can decide whether I should start meditating or not. Now, this is a very interesting request. Another thing that this question assumes is, and here I would become a little bit technical, but if you've been with us, then you would find that it's not so. Another thing that this question really presents is that because I'm not at the point of the final state of meditation, the destination of meditation, I am somewhere at the starting stage, and the final state is somewhere here, right? So there are 2 points in the process of meditation. One is the state from which you start, and one is the state where you will finally reach when you say, yes, I have reached the final state of meditation. And you need time to reach from state 1 to state 2. From the initial stage to the expert stage, the teacher, enlightened state. You need time to cover this, right? And in this time, you would do the method of meditation to reach from here to here. This is the whole structure which is implied in this very question, that what is the final destination of meditation? This whole structure assumes a starting point, an ending point, and a means to go from here to there, a method to go from here to there. So this is what the question is asking. Now, many teachers on YouTube give many ways to do this crossing. And the moment a teacher gives the method to cross from here to here, the teacher is first of all accepting the fact that this structure exists, that there's a state from which you start and there's a state at which you end, and this is the method which you can use to go from here to there. Okay? So, when someone starts to give you a method, that very approach is assuming this structure. Okay? It also depends why the method is given, but in general, whatever the majority of teachers are available on the YouTube, they all assume this 3-structure approach: starting point, ending point, method to cross it. With a few exceptions of teachers who give a method just to start. Okay? Sometimes a sense of sensitivity is needed. Meditation requires tremendous sensitivity. That word itself is very confusing for people because everyone will make a different meaning out of it. But the so-called method what it does is it provides an initial boost of sensitivity, an initial starting of sensitivity. Okay? Now, this whole 2-point, 3-point, however you say, let's say 2-point system, initial point, final point, cannot exist without the usage of time. Because you need time to cross from this point to this point. This whole system is dependent on time. Okay? Time is always and always for an observer. Time doesn't have a meaning without an observer. Nowadays, it's a beautiful discussion, and Professor Brian Cox has said it many times that an observer is basically universe's way of looking at itself, finding itself. So, only when there's an observer to see all this universe, then only you say there is time. Okay? Then we can say that there is time and time exists. So, if I give you a system which is in time, from this point to this point, right? Then that system is also in the field of the observer. How? There must be someone to confirm that yes, this was the starting state, this was the ending state where I have reached or someone else has reached, and this is the amount of time that has taken place. That's an observation actually. That someone is checking what was my initial state, what is my final state, how long it took me to cross it, from which method I did it. So, an observer is always required whenever you talk of time. Without observer, you cannot talk of time because the word time doesn't have a meaning if there's no one observing the change. Time is change. And if no one is observing change, then how can confirm whether change is even taking place? Okay? So, some kind of observer is always needed to confirm the change, right? So, when an observer confirms that yes, I have reached the final place from the initial place, taking this much time, that very confirmation shows that at the final state of reaching the final destination of meditation, the observer still remains present. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to confirm it, that yes, I have reached. Okay? This is what Lao Tzu has, whether it's Lao Tzu or who is it? I'm forgetting the name, but maybe it's Lao Tzu. That those who know don't speak that they know. It's not that their tongue is not working. It's just the fact that whatever you are calling the destination of meditation, at that point, now I don't like to use this language at that point because this language is in time. When I say at that point, it means there are other points and there's a whole language of time here. I don't like to use it, but if I don't use this language, it will become very difficult. So let's use it for convenience at the moment. So at the destination of meditation, at the enlightenment stage, whatever you call it, if someone can confirm that they have achieved it, it means the observer still remains to confirm it, right? So that is one way of reaching the destination. That is what most YouTubers are calling enlightenment, that yes, I left the body and everything. They are confirming their final state. Yes, this is what happened to me and this is what it is. In this final state, the whole point is to overcome this distance. How do I reach from this point to this point? Should I find a better teacher to go from here to there? A better method to go from here to there? And then people try different things to reach here. So people first listen to someone explaining what the final state is like. Then they copy their method and try to reach that state. That's what the whole game is about. But as we clearly explained, in this whole system, the observer remains. Okay? Someone needs to confirm this because there is time, and time requires observer. Otherwise, there's no talk of time. Now, the meditation which we are concerned with this on this channel, okay, that is not an outcome or the product of time. Right? When I say that that is not the product of time, I do not mean some mysterious state where some weird experiences will happen. I simply mean that there is no observer to confirm the final state. There is an observer to confirm the starting state. Yes, I am like this. But the final state is never confirmed because there is no one there to confirm it. This movement from initial state to final state is the death of the observer, the dissolution of the observer. Okay? So, there is no observer to confirm what is this. So, the final state doesn't exist. Right? And if the final state doesn't exist, the initial state also loses its meaning. What is this kind of initial state which doesn't have a final state? If you mention this is the starting point, you must also mention what is the ending point. If you don't mention what's the ending point, then the starting point has no meaning simply. Right? So, both the points fall apart the moment the observer is gone. Which is very logical because there is no one to make an observation. There is no one to detect change. There is no time there. So, how can you have 2 points if there is no one to detect this change? So, the meditation which we are talking about on the channel is not about a movement in time. It is not a 2-point approach, starting point, ending point, using a method to reach from start to end. It is not some kind of a magical experience where you will fly somewhere or, and imagine or not imagine. I'm not saying that those experiences of going somewhere and this and that, they are real or not real. Okay? That is not our concern. That is not the topic of our channel. Our channel is not focused on confirming or neglecting or denying someone else's experiences. Okay? Our topic of the channel is only and only meditation. And the meditation that we are concerned about is not in the 2-point system. It's not a dualistic meditation. You cannot use a method to reach the final destination because there is no final destination. Right? There is no boat to cross, as Mr. Krishnamurti used to say. No boat to cross. And his legendary statement comes to help us again that truth is a pathless land. There is no path to the truth. Path usually shows duality, the starting point of the path and the ending point of the path. And to cross that barrier, that distance, you need time. So he is clearly stating that truth is not in time. There is no path to truth, then you do not require any time for truth. There is no arriving at truth. There is no leaving from for truth. You cannot say, I am leaving towards truth from this initial state. And you can also never say, I have arrived at the state of truth. Okay? This whole is not in time. We are not working in that. All of that is a dualistic system. Okay? So, when you ask me, tell me about the final destination, I would simply say there is no final destination. And even if I accept your frame of language, even if I accept the structure of language that you use while framing that question, while formulating the essence of that question, even then, I would be totally and totally helpless because there is nobody to recognize anything, to testify anything, to confirm anything that yes, this is the final state. Okay? All the changes, all the movements are all in time. Your waking state is in time. Your sleeping state is in time. When you say, I am aware, that is in time. When you say, I was not aware, that is in time. Okay? And the magical part is, you are even aware of this change. You know when you were unaware, and you know when you are aware. And you also know when you make this transition between aware and unaware. All of this is totally and totally in time. Okay? So, don't fall for the final destination trap. The reason we live meditation is not because of some gift that we will get in the end, some experience where we'll fly off somewhere. Okay? The reason is very simply clarity. Okay? Freedom. Okay? When you live a life which is not clear, which is devoid of clarity, which is devoid of freedom, that life is full of sorrow. That life is full of a sense of sadness, a sense of hollowness and emptiness, which everyone feels inside of them. Even if you achieve everything, and specifically those who achieve everything, they feel it very nicely because now they have got everything and still feel empty from inside. So, the reason of meditation is self-inquiry. Self-inquiry. Why? Because there is sorrow. Nobody likes to live with sorrow. Nobody wants to live with sorrow. Right? So, if there is some special gift at the end, we don't care about that gift. We don't know, first of all, there is or not, because the observer doesn't exist in meditation. If in meditation there's an observer who is recognizing the changes of meditation, then that is not meditation. Confirm. No more tricks, no more cheap tricks, no more colors, no more this and that. Meditation is the dissolution of the observer. The only thing that happens in good meditation is the ending of the observer. And when the observer ends, nobody can tell what is there, because there's nobody to express it. There's simply okay. So that would be all for today, and now we are opening to more deeper questions, because we've covered a lot of basic ground on the channel. We have more than 100 videos now where we've covered so many aspects of psychology, and I think if someone has been following, you must have a good base now to attempt the difficult questions which are coming towards you. If there is still something which I didn't explain nicely, then please write to me in the comments, and I would try to open it up more. And there's no right or wrong approach in this. There's only the love and love and love for investigation. Not for someone's eyes, not for someone's lips. Just the love for investigation. Whatever is needed to be put aside for that, are you willing to put it aside? That's the whole question. Whatever the investigation demands that you should put aside, because the investigation demands a mind which is very light, which is very easy to adapt, which is very highly sensitive, and a mind which is burdened with information, a mind which is burdened with conclusions, a mind which is burdened with beliefs, cannot be quick, cannot be. Okay? So that's the price for investigation you have to pay. I think it's enough for today, and we will meet next time. Thank you.